All two of them.
Our poor fans have to listen to Miami stuff when we're based in New England.
All 200 of them.
Is there a game on tonight?
There is a game. Pretty stellar game so far. 7-3. Bengals winning.
Oh, how unusual.
They're fly white unis. They're pretty nice.
Those are pretty cool. And they changed the field and everything. Did you guys see the stands, though? It's like they gave everyone jerseys because everyone has the same hat and jerseys on. And they look legit.
They might have. And
they go for like a sea of white thing? Like Penn State?
Yeah, like there are so many jokes.
White stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Dispat.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the tagless Haynes.
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
And Matt, hi, or Regan.
Yeah, I hear you. And I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
And Tua just threw a pick.
You're ahead of me, you jerk.
I'm sorry. Spoiler alert.
And
Tua threw a pick. Yeah.
And I see it.
Terrible throw. What are you doing? Oh, but don't worry about that right now, guys. We got some work to do for the takers out there. Takers, welcome into Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are starting week 4. Can you guys believe that? We are at week 4 already.
It's rough.
Unbelievable.
That's rough.
Is it rough? Oh, the way your mother likes it.
Wow.
Name that reference, Ryan.
Classic. Sean Connery, SNL.
Yeah.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
They are such classics.
Right
but yeah,
there.
Ryan the Tagless Haynes in the house. Ryan, how you doing? How's the fam? How's the fantasy teams, more importantly?
Doing all right. I've been sick all week. This is the first day I've actually felt okay. Also, the first day I've had a voice, so we'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, croup. Haven't had that since I was like 11.
Wow. Grow up.
Yeah. That's what you get for working in preschools, man. You get these weird kid things.
They come back with a vengeance.
That's for damn sure.
Regan, I can't wait to face you again with some vengeance after kicking my ass the week before.
Bad.
But I think we're facing each other pretty soon in another league. But how you doing?
Good. 6-2 this week.
Nice.
Yahoo is the only league I just can't win. I just suck at Yahoo. I think it's Yahoo.
Yeah, sure. Blame it on the platform.
It's the competition, man. It's the competition. It's too steep for you.
That's what it is.
Yes. Can never climb that mountain of our winning records. But we are recording on September 29, 2022. We're going to reflect on week 3 a little bit, guys. Some guys to watch out for. We got a new segment, Shade or Trade, Trade or Shade. Still working that out. Working out the kinks and guys that we're looking to trade for or shading them, throwing shade at them, something like that, fading them.
Throwing shade at the guys that need to trade.
This is what happens when you guys leave me in charge of naming the segments. It's really a punishment for you all.
Takers, help us out. Just a Tip, FFP, slide our DMs, leave a comment. If you are watching us on Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast on YouTube, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Or just ditch the segment altogether. We'll see how it works out. You got any questions for us, let us know. But yeah, like I said, week 4, guys, we're just taking it day by day. We're all day by day. Just day by day.
Step by step.
That's all I could say. Day by day.
Day by day.
I hate Belichick. Anyway. But yeah, we're on to whatever they are now. On to their 5-win season. Can't wait. What is that? Is that a
Jesus.
Catholic candle, whatever, for Mac Jones on it? That is terrible. Oh God. Anyway, let's I'm trying to find the drop. There we go.
Silence, Mac Jones.
Let's talk about leagues. Scott Fish update.
Say, Clyde, do you like fish sticks?
Real quick, guys, we were in the 400 section. We are now down to 1757.
Wow.
Out of 3,000 people. So it was a rough 2 weeks. Kirk Cousins didn't help us out that primetime game, but we'll bounce back. We'll be all right. Still a long season. And then, before we get into the Hurt Locker and stuff, guys, let's get into...
Treat me right fucking now.
Okay. Jeez. So, guys, let's talk about some guys that we're looking to trade for, trade away, shade, whatever you want to call it. Ryan, give me a candidate that we're looking to trade for or shade away from.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple on our Scott Fish team here. The first name is going to be James Conner, running back 28, 10.8 fantasy points per game. He's got 90 rushing yards in 3 games, a touchdown, and 10 receptions to go along with that. So are we shading away from James Conner for the remainder of the year, or is this the time to capitalize and trade for him?
Oh, trade for him, please. Please. This guy had so many touchdowns last year. Absurd. They're going to get D-Hop back. This offense has obviously been on, a little bit of a funk. Let's let them get into midseason stride. James Conner is going to be that guy again. I'm not worried about this at all. I will gladly take James Conner off your hands.
What are you willing to give him? Give up for him?
Oof. Name it. What do you want?
Christian Kirk.
No.
I think that's what it's going to have to take. Christian Kirk was the name that came to mind.
That's a good line right there.
You're going to have to go wide receiver too, because
yes, you are.
We'll get into it a little bit, but running backs are trash this year. So, but yeah, like you said, D-Hop coming back, stretch the field. Jerry Jeudy. I mean, yeah, I would give up Jeudy for him for sure, but I think it's going to take more.
Yeah, you're not flipping them for a running back. Like these running backs here, you're not going to flip for other running backs. That's probably just not going to happen. You're just going to end up with much of the same. So it's going to be somebody who is going to need a wide receiver, and you're going to have to ship one off. I think Christian Kirk is a good comp. I think if you can get him for, say, Jerry Jeudy, I would try for that first.
Gabe Davis.
That's a pretty fair trade.
I'm thinking you got to go wide receiver too. That's going to be what's going to have to move it.
Absolutely. If you're desperate enough, sure.
Yeah,
Gabe Davis.
Need that running back. Speaking of desperate, New Orleans needing to score some points. How come this guy can't help, Ryan?
His ribs.
Alvin Kamara, running back 53, guys. What the heck? That is not something I expected to say ever. 7.5 fantasy points per game. He's only played in 2 games. 100 yards on the ground. Here's the problem, though, guys. 5 receptions. I feel like this has been the problem since Drew Brees retired. So Alvin Kamara, are you shading away from him? Are you trading for him? You're probably going to have to give up a little bit of a bag to get him. He's still a big name. So, Mac, what do you think?
He still is, but people are panicking. I mentioned in the waiver episode that Ingram got the goal line touches. I don't think he's right with his ribs, like you were mentioning, Regan. So I think they want to limit his impact to keep him healthy. So hopefully Andy Dalton comes in because he likes to check down a lot.
Seriously. And it's close because Jameis Winston is not practicing. What's you guys thought on his court date being moved to November 9th? Do you think that's a good thing? I think it's a little nerve-wracking. They said it's tentative or whatever, meaning I think there's a possibility that it could be taken care of off out of the court. But that's my only whatever. If I can trade him for a bag, I am absolutely doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I still want to see what shakes out with it, but
I'm all set. You got him late. compared to when you should have got him.
Maybe, depending on the time you
late
draft.
second round, mid second round in my leagues. You're right though. Right when the season was starting, he was going late first round, early second. So he did go up. You're right.
I mean, still, like he's notorious, like not notoriously, but he's historically a top 5-6 pick. So even getting him tail end of the first into the second, that was perceived to be a good value. But I just the passing usage has not been there since Drew Brees has left. It's just been way too inconsistent. So I think Reeks, you're onto something here. Like, I think he's more of a guy you look to trade away than a guy you look to try to acquire, especially considering he's got some legal things that he's got to resolve too, which could kind of hamper or hinder into the playoffs there. So we'll see.
Yeah, that extra baggage definitely throws you off though. So
all right on. Let's talk about some wide receivers here, Ryan.
Yeah, Elijah Moore was a big name that was coming up. 12 receptions so far this season, 139 yards. There seems to be some people who are holding on hope with Zach Wilson returning. Like maybe he'll be used a little bit more than, say, Garrett Wilson now. But Reeks, Elijah Moore, are you trading for him? And what are you trading to get him?
Go get him, and you can get him for something small because people are nervous. Looking at the Miami game right now, Chase Edmonds, you could trade for Elijah Moore right now. I think Elijah Moore is going to be, he's the number one receiver there. He runs 95% of the routes. He's on the field all the time. That's literally 5% of the plays of the game. He's not on the field. He's out there all the time. He had the most air yards last week with 180 air yards. It was only on 4 passes, and it was Joe Flacco, but who cares? They're still looking for him, and he's still trying to get the ball to him. He is the playmaker here. And we got to think about last year, how good he did with Zach Wilson. That's why he had so much hype going into this season. That it's common knowledge. Garrett Wilson is a great player, but this is Zach Wilson's guy. Zach Wilson is believed to play this week. You can see an early turnaround. I'm going to jump on him this week before Zach Wilson comes back and shows that he's better.
So you're thinking that tier of running backs, your Chase Edmonds, your Rashad Penny, your Tony Pollards of the world.
Yep. And you might even be able to get, you might not even have to go that high because people are very low on him on his past 3 games. But I think that's what I would be comfortable, like a Chase Edmonds, a Penny. I would love to do that.
Mac, would you rather have the running back depth there with those pieces, or would you rather have Elijah Moore? I know it depends on how desperate you are, but what do you think?
Yeah, if I have 3 starting running backs, I'm okay. If I need a receiver to part ways with one of them, like a Penny, I think Josh Jacobs would be the line. Like, I don't think I'd give up Josh Jacobs for him. But yeah, Chase.
Would you look for another receiver? Are there any other receivers you might look to try to get over Elijah Moore?
I feel like you could, especially on the waiver wire, but just see how people shake out. But DJ Moore is ranked lower than him. If you guys are a believer in DJ Moore and breaking out, people are upset with him. So I go more and more, actually. But
I like it.
And then
you might be able to ship one of those backs for DJ Moore. So
that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to give up that type of capital, I'm going to shoot a little bit higher than Elijah Moore and potential.
Okay. I fear that you might have to give up more than just a Chase Edmonds or a Rashad Penny for someone to consider DJ Moore. I think if you sent that for Elijah Moore, they'd probably click it. I don't know, 60% of the time, 70% of the time.
Yeah, that's fine. To send in a package deal. Send in Zay Jones, Noah Brown, people that have been doing well. Greg Dortch, who's a top 20 wide receiver right now. That's not going to stay. Maybe they'll be naive and not realize that.
Yeah, know your league. We've said this. Know your league.
Mm-hmm.
Down for Dortch and Brown, but not Zay Jones. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Who we got next, Rad?
You know what, Mac? I think you had put this in the notes here. Backup running backs.
That was actually me.
Ooh, Reeks. Who are you trading for? And what are you trading?
That's my problem. So I have so much of Alexander Madison, Herbert, Jamal Williams. I have them in so many leagues. Jamal Williams, I want to keep, honestly. And if I don't have them, I'm fine with trading for him. If you are the Swift owner, I think he's almost fine by himself. He's getting the goal line carries. I'm pretty sure he already has 4 touchdowns this season, maybe even 5. Herbert is a great play. Madison is the guy I'm trying to trade. This Dalvin Cook situation is horrible. So he was a full participant today in practice. This guy dislocated his shoulder again. This normally happens every year to him around like week 10, 11, 12. It happened in week 3 this year. Mm-hmm. That being said, he always pushes himself. He's not going to get surgery. I think he's just going to play till his arm falls off. So that leads me to believe that Alexander Madison, and we've seen it too. He has a couple of good games, but when Cook's not there, it's not the same. It's not the same output. With these other guys like Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, I would love to keep them. I would love to trade for them. And I think you can get a bag for them if you're already set. Like I have one league. I was telling Mac earlier, I have Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, and I believe I have Herbert in that league. Including other guys, Chase Edmonds, let's just say that's there. I would go and try to get a haul for him, especially after he produces this week. This week's going to be huge for Williams and Herbert. And let's see if Cook can get through a game. Madison might look amazing as well. Madison, I think I actually already sent out a trade that I think it might go through. Why am I zoning out? Damon Pierce. I was trying to trade for him. Not a bad. I'm going to get a starter. He's going to get a backup for Cook. That's something like you want to do. I think that's low end for the backups. For Herbert Williams, I think you can get more.
I love that because you don't want Dameon Pierce as your running back 1. Right now, Dalvin Cook's your running back 1. If you get Madison, he's going to put up comparable numbers to Dalvin Cook. Mac, which one of these running backs are you targeting the most?
Out of these 3, Jamal Williams, because he's been used even with DeAndre Swift on the field. So I think he's kind of like a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt light type of offense. So he has 4 touchdowns on the year, like Regan said. That's the guy I want. If you could have picked him up, hopefully you did. Khalil Herbert is still available in like 35% of leagues. So that is unacceptable, guys. What are you doing? Takers out there.
Leagues. Those 18 leagues. 18.
It can't be any of our leagues. Anybody with us, any of our takers out here. So yeah, but Jamal Williams is my guy that I would go after. But
no, I think you're dropping like 20-30% fab on these guys this week. They definitely shouldn't be on the waiver wire.
They should have been.
But check and see if they still are.
Yeah, this is the time that everyone should know that there's going to be some random guys dropping. This is the time where I love doing trades because I'll package 2 guys to get 1 and then go grab some guy I'm high on the waiver wire. It's my favorite time.
Somebody once said that fantasy football favors the bold. So go be bold, call your shot. I would trade Khalil Herbert right now, coming off his hot week, for Breece Hall, who will be trending up in the right direction, who's starting to take over. Do that. Right now. Right.
Yeah, I like
Do it now.
Do it.
And then you look ahead to his playoff schedule: Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle. So go after that. It's never too early to start looking ahead of the schedule.
All right, I have a specific trade consideration here. So Dynasty League, this person has a number of different running backs. Eckler, CEH, Connor, Pierce, Robinson, and Cordarrelle Patterson. I think Cordarrelle Patterson's probably the guy you want to deal here, the highest priority because of his age. So if you need a wide receiver, guys, who are you targeting? Who do you think you can realistically get in Dynasty for Cordarrelle Patterson? What are some names? Who are some names?
To be honest with you, I might want to trade 2 of these running backs for another running back in something else or something. In Dynasty, I'm a little nervous about CEH, Robinson as well, Patterson. Like I would be fine getting rid of all 3 of those guys.
Yes.
That being said, for a wide receiver, say for Patterson, I think you could probably get like a Treylon Burks and maybe something else. I'm looking for guys that are young and high upside. that they haven't done much yet.
I think you'll find those trade partners across dynasty leagues. If you're in more experienced leagues, I don't know if guys are going to be giving up on Treylon Burks as of yet, but you never know. So you could throw it out, see what happens. A name that I was thinking of today was maybe like Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we trying to win now, or are we?
Yeah, I would say win now. I would say win now.
All right, I would shoot for a Mike Williams, who's kind of been disappointing. Fluky starts, somebody like that, but you might have to package another pick with it. But somebody that's been a little lackluster at wide receiver.
Yeah, right, so you're thinking you can get a low end wide receiver 2 for something like for these guys.
Anybody throwing Hopkins your way? Just impatient.
Dynasty kind of like but
29, going to be 30, coming off a 6-game suspension. If somebody's starting off a little cold, maybe they're 0-3, 1-2.
Yeah, if you're looking to win now.
But are they going for Cordell Patterson though?
Maybe they need the depth. Yeah.
Maybe they need a running back. This is a half point per carry league, so running backs are really important.
Right. What about DJ Moore then? Somebody that's really been disappointing, but still young. He's 25, but he's not been putting up anything. Do you take a shot on him?
That's another good name. And honestly, if somebody were to send me Treylon Burks for Cordell Patterson, I would do it in a heartbeat, even if I was competing.
No, yeah,
same.
You, sir, are a mouthful.
That's what she said.
All right. That was good stuff, guys. We're going to try to get a little more dynasty talk. We do the college prep. We're trying to do trade talk because this is that time of year in the fantasy season to do that. So, but if you have any questions, please hit us up. Let's get into, this one's kind of lengthy here, Regan. So we'll power through this, get all these guys, let them stretch their legs a bit out of the hurt locker. We are a very serious program. We don't waste any time. All right, let's go.
All right, guys, ready for this? The hurt locker. We'll get into the somewhat good news first. I'll pause a couple times, see what you guys got on some of these guys. But J.K. Dobbins, Baltimore, obviously. He hurt his chest now in the last game, yet he was still a full go, making strides every week. I'm definitely not playing him yet, but don't overdo it yet. Just relax. Rondell Moore, hamstring, 2 back-to-back limited practices. Great news for the Arizona wide receiver. Treylon Burks, I know we were just talking about him. So he had an illness, guys, was out yesterday. He was a full participant back at practice today, making one-handed grabs. And the word is that they want to get him some more work. So I'm pretty excited about that. What do you guys think about that? How about you, Ryan?
I saw that note today, and I think they mean it. They got to get this guy more involved to be successful. They don't have enough depth. We've talked about that in the past, and he's going to have this boom game soon, right, Reeks? And when's it going to be? So, that's the note that tells me the big game's coming.
Couldn't agree more. Let's keep it moving. Miles Sanders, Philly, practiced in full today. Great news for him. It was a hip injury. TJ Hawkinson, foot injury, limited today. Dalton Schultz, this one's a little tough. He's a sprained MCL, I believe, limited today, again today, so he's been limited this week. This one's a little nerve-wracking. He was going to try to play this past week, and it just didn't work out. I'm still nervous about him, but the fact that he's still at practice is a great sign. Christian Watson for Green Bay, full participant today after missing last week. Michael Gallup, still not practicing, but practicing in full for the past couple days. Mac, do you have any? Do you have this guy on your lineup anymore? Are you worried about him? Do you care?
He's on my bench, yeah, just to take a shot and see when he comes back, see what this offense does. He's worth a shot. It's either that or I keep up a backup tight end who's very fluky.
Good call. Another huge one, Jonathan Taylor, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Toe injury. Practice in full today, which is great.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of a turf toe type of thing. He seems to be pretty good.
Don't be putting that evil out there.
Hey, he practiced full. He missed his first practice, I believe, though.
In his entire life.
Yep. It's wild. What a bitch. Anyways. AJ Brown, this one got me nervous, boys, but it was a personal reason that he wasn't at practice today. I think everything's going to be fine there. James Conner, limited at practice. He should be good. I held my breath because Dalvin Cook's next up, boys, and he practiced in full. This guy kills me. Dislocated shoulder last week, can't play, and then he's all good at practice, hitting and whatnot. That's pretty impressive. Really impressive.
He's good to go. Don't worry.
I like it. All right. We got Herbert and Allen for the Chargers, both full. Herbert was full practice. Keenan Allen was limited. Just some good news that Allen is making some progress.
Are we waiting and seeing what he does when he comes back, Ryan, Keenan Allen, or are we putting him right back in our lineup?
I don't think so. I mean, he's so needed in that offense that I think they're going to just be peppering him with targets per usual. I did see he left practice early today, though, so I haven't heard any other reports after that. Yeah. So I don't know if that was planned or not planned. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. So I'm worried about that being a different injury. So that's a good call, Ryan. All right, boys. As you saw me open up my beer after that long-winded statement, we're going to get into some bad news for injuries. Those other ones were supposed to be good. So, the bad news for the Hurt Locker, Cordell Patterson. He took a rest day. It's the second practice in a row that he's missed for a rest. He also declined to talk to the locker room, which I thought was weird. Yesterday, it was marked as a rest/knee day. And then today, it was just a rest day. So, I'm a little nervous about this. And this is why I am all about trading this gentleman right here, Cordell Patterson. Guys, he's old. He runs super hard. He has 0 to 100. He does not have no turn down. And he is, I don't think he's going to last the full year. Go get Tyler Algier if you can. I know he's probably picked up in most leagues, but looks like Mac already wrote that. Good call, buddy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this guy?
Yeah, he, like you said, he's old, and people are like, "Oh, not too much wear and tear on the body." Like, doesn't matter. Does not matter.
Does not.
Tyler Algier is only rostered in 15% of leagues, so put him on the end of the bench. Drop your kicker, put him there. See what happens this weekend if Cordell can't go.
Patterson's 45 years old. He's getting the ball 30 times a game. It's like
his knee is.
Jesus, guys, come on, have some common sense.
Nope, not Arthur Smith. No common sense over there.
Alrighty, boys. So we're gonna get back into this. Mac Jones, ankle injury, second straight day without practice.
But he could
what
still,
a weird situation this is.
Could still play though. Don't rule him out.
He's playing this week.
Shut up.
He told all the players that he's like, "Don't count me out." There was a leak from one of the players on the team that said he's a really tough guy, but he's in a lot of pain. So I do not see him playing. I hope he doesn't play. I think he'd be stupid to play, especially versus Green Bay. But we'll see what happens there. Some more bad news, guys. David Montgomery, ankle and knee injury, did not practice today. We kind of talked about him already. Devontae Smith, guys, came down with a back injury. Practice limited, probably because he had to carry the whole team on his back last week. But whatever it may be. Something to keep an eye on. DeAndre Swift, Detroit, ankle and shoulder injury. Missed practice, obviously. I think he's going to be back around week 7. I think that's what they've said. So the next 2 weeks, and then week 6 is their bye. So he'll be back week 7. Yeah, that's the thought. So play Jamal Williams and enjoy yourself. All right, Mac, this is a tough one for you, buddy. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Ankle injury and missed.
Yeah, another thing I should mention here is if he's missing this week, then the following week, who knows what happens, but pick up Jameson Williams in case he comes back for Detroit, their rookie draft pick.
Oh, yep. Great call. Because I was honestly going to mention DJ Chark, but he's next on the list with an ankle injury that missed practice.
And TJ Hawkinson with a foot injury. Who knows what is going to happen? So I'm fading Jared Goff. I'm not starting him.
1,000 yards.
Let's hope.
Hawkinson hopefully is going to play. It's trending in that direction.
Yeah.
And then Josh Reynolds is another name short term.
Especially for this week.
Absolutely.
That's a good call. All right, so we'll keep it going. I obviously just mentioned DJ Chark for Detroit. Also did not practice with the ankle injury. This one's a really nerve-wracking, and that is Hunter Renfrow. I believe, I don't want to say it, but I think it's still the whole concussion protocol, his head injury, missed practice again today. Really worried about this guy. Still
eating those Butterfingers, man. I think that's what it is.
The Butterfingers. Poor guy.
Mm-hmm. Sugar headache.
Anyways, Gabe Davis, ankle injury, guys, did not practice today, limited yesterday. That is not a good sign whatsoever, especially after he didn't catch that goddamn touchdown last week. Anyways, Christian McCaffrey, boys. Thigh injury. Sits out another day today. He says he should be good. I'm guessing this is just precautionary. Like they said they were going to keep him out. He does not need to practice. The guy's a stud. That being said, it's a thigh injury. Those can be lingering. Keep an eye on it. The problem is there's no backup here. I don't want anyone there at all. Chuba Hubbard is like third out.
Yeah, if you're going to
Devontae Foreman.
Yeah, Deonta Foreman, if you're going to get him. He had a couple 100-yard games last year with the Titans, so you just
saw Tua just.
And no flag on that. No flag on that whatsoever. The guy freaking wrestling.
Oh, my God.
What is it? Pseudoplex on right to the turf and nothing. Head smashed. He's out. He's not going to be coming back this game.
That's man, that's something we're gonna have to talk about later on.
Mm-hmm.
So bad
news. The hurt locker.
Tua injury. He's going to be out a couple weeks because I got a feeling that's back-to-back concussions, and that is a very serious thing. Yep. I'm very worried about him right now. Let's get off of that. That's horrible stuff. Anyways, the guy I said to pick up last week, Zay Jones, ankle injury, did not practice today. Awesome. MVS abdomen injury, did not practice again today. I got nothing on Green Bay's wide receivers.
That's Kansas City.
Oh my God. I wrote Green Bay in the thing. Like an idiot. I'm thinking of Romeo Dobbs in my head.
I know, but MVS shouldn't be on your roster anyway.
MVS shouldn't be mentioned in any fantasy program ever again. The dude has had Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes and has not had a productive career.
That's a great point, guys.
So,
all right, forget what I just said.
We'll edit that out later.
Yeah, that's all right. That concludes the Hurt Locker. It is shut, but apparently Tua just opened it really slowly. He couldn't find the door handle.
Yep. I don't think he can fit.
Lockers.
Holy shit, there's a lot of news. It's true, the market is becoming saturated.
With injuries.
Sorry, takers. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of stuff is changing. Season's changing. It's getting colder. My nipples are harder. So, but if you want actual news, it's a little brisk, Regan. I don't know. It happens.
Good news right there, dude.
Things change. So if I bump into somebody, they'll be in the Hurt Locker. Be bleeding.
If the colors change, you'll be in the Hurt Locker.
Oh,
should get that looked at.
Yeah. I should. But anyway, follow us. Just a tip. I don't know why you would after this segment. Butchering it here. News changing. Players that are, game time decision. We might be like, all right, get this guy. Another option for you. So we'll try to help you out there, takers. All right, and with that, guys, we got some tough decisions this week. Let's get sexy. All right, takers, we're gonna look into some roster decisions on your sexy flex appeal. Who's going to be that sexy decision to get your squad over your opponent, bend them over a barrel, and take them to town. All right,
we states.
Yeah, very aggressive there.
we did. So, guys, if you takers want to send in your squad, if you got some questions. So we got some here. Remember the tight ends team. Seems like he's staying true to his name, guys. He drafted Kelsey and Waller. So it's only one flex position in a 0.5 PPR. He currently has Waller in his flex, who is at 9.3 points per game. When you're doing a flex, okay, that's okay as a floor, but right now, nobody's on a bye week. I'm looking for a big boom play. So big boom plays, would you prefer Devonta Smith for the Eagles, who had a 26-point game and is trending in the right direction, and then he's going against Jacksonville? Or would you want Chris Olave, 19 points versus Minnesota this week over in London? That reminds me.
Oh, London,
9 o'clock Eastern time. You better be making sure your roster's locked up for the Minnesota New Orleans game. But yeah, guys, I think I'd rather go a boom play with Devonta Smith or Chris Olave. Chris Olave is getting the nod for me if Michael Thomas is out.
Yeah, I'm all Chris Olave here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that as well. I mean, both of these matchups, they're favorable. These are bad secondaries. But just thinking about competition, Olave is going to be the guy. And he's had 12 targets back-to-back weeks.
Something ridiculous.
13 targets each of the last 2 weeks, and his snap percentage is going up every single week. So yes, Chris Olave is my pick.
Love it.
All right. We will let him
change
know.
your team name, bro.
I mean, you can still do that. You can still remember them. They can be.
That's a good point. You remember him on your bench.
You remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he learned his lesson. Never draft 2 tight ends.
Tua in a stretcher, strapped down. This is not good.
It is gruesome.
Oh my god.
All right, Mr. Antonio. He has 2 flex spots and a full PPR. Let's pick 2 for him. Breece Hall, workload trending up. They have the Steelers this week, right? Jets and Steelers. And Juju Smith-Schuster versus Tampa Bay. He's on Kansas City. Regan.
I got it.
Al Lazard for Green Bay versus New England. 2 games in a row with double-digit points. So that's the type of flex appeal you're looking for. Someone that's going to get double-digit points in your flex as his floor. I think Alan Lazard will get that for you. Then J.K. Dobbins coming off a 9-touch game, 2 receptions. He looks pretty good. I think they're just trying to get his feet wet, though. So I don't think he's going to get enough play time. So I'm thinking
this is rough.
I'm thinking high scoring game with Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I want Juju, and then I want Alan Lazard as my floor play.
This is a tough one. JK against Buffalo, definitely not. Although he did look okay last week. Alan Lazard, I think, is out of this group a definite. I don't know, man. Tampa Bay's got a pretty damn good defense.
Yeah, I know.
Breece Hall, Lazard for me.
But the thing is with Breece Hall is you got Zach Wilson back. He doesn't dink and dunk the same way that Flacco does. So he's not going to get his 10, 11 targets. He shouldn't get his 10, 11 targets.
But he might get some more red zone carries.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Reeves. I think I'm going Breece Hall and Alan Lazard.
It's a tough one between Juju and Breece Hall. I just get worried about Tampa's defense and not even their secondary, but their defensive line not giving Mahomes a lot of time. So
he'll make the time. I'm worried about Zach Wilson not checking down to his running backs. So I kind of want to see him how he's going to play with Breece Hall.
You know who I'm worried about? Teddy Bridgewater playing quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep. Yeah, this game's.
Hey, Teddy can do it, man. Teddy's gonna compete.
Do you see Tyreek Hill's reaction to him trying to throw him a screen pass last week?
No.
Hill was like, "I'm out. Bye." He literally threw his hands up in the air and walked off the field. So I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
he really does love Tua. That's weird.
This game's going to get ugly. They just blocked a field goal. Teddy Bridgewater had a nice 15-yard completion, though. So we'll
just
see.
saw it right now. I'm behind you, remember?
I'm sorry. All right, guys. Let's get into more flex appeal guys. Some guys that we want to talk about. Let's go with running backs first here. Dameon Pierce. Who called that last week? Ryan, was that you?
That was me and you. Both of us said that we would play him over Zeke, which Zeke had a pretty good week, but Dameon Pierce had a better week.
He did. Zeke's having his streak alive against the Giants of always scoring a touchdown. I think that's 6 in a row against the Giants of always scoring a touchdown. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Dameon Pierce, 80 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 receptions. But Ryan, 2 fumbles. He's got to hold on to that ball.
It's rough.
I'm worried about that. He keeps fumbling. He's gonna see the bench, and they're gonna put Burkhead in. I don't care who you are. If you keep fumbling like that, you're out.
All right. But are you gonna put him in as your RB2 over, let's say, Damian Harris? I mean, Mac Jones isn't playing. It'll be Brian Hoyer. Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. Would you rather go with one of those guys against Green Bay or Dameon Pierce?
I'd rather go Dameon Pierce. I think Burkhead's had 3 attempts in the last 2 weeks. It's been all Dameon Pierce on the field, getting that snap percentage. Go with the guy who's on the field more.
All right. What about Travis Etienne versus Philly? He's been pretty disappointing as of late. I don't think you can play Travis Etienne.
Yeah, so I put these guys in here, guys. I want you guys to rank them. They're all very difficult plays. And I'd love to see you guys rank them. So we have Dameon Pierce versus the Chargers, Cam Akers versus San Fran, Travis Etienne versus Philly, and J.K. Dobbins versus Buffalo. These are a lot of the guys that people have that either they're throwing in their flex or they have running back injuries and they're throwing them in their RB2. These are pretty rough. I see you guys both look at them sideways, and that's why I had to do it to you. So, Matt, can you rank these guys for me? And then we'll have Ryan do it after.
You want me to rank these guys?
Yep. Who are you playing over these 4? Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers, Travis Etienne, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, geez, lots of people.
In order. No. Who do you like the most?
I got you. That's what I was asking. Dameon Pierce. I'll go Travis Etienne, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, I'm not playing.
Nope.
Cam Akers, tough defense against San Fran. I don't like it. But you probably spent the capital that you're going to have to use them. Unless you picked up one of the Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert guys. Then you're plugging those guys in over all 4 of these guys. Well, not Dameon Pierce. Sorry. Dameon Pierce is an RB2. I'm getting him in my lineup.
If you're stuck with the decision of having to play Jamal Williams or Khalil Herbert over Dameon Pierce, I might consider that this week. But this order, I'm going Pierce, Dobbins,
against
Etienne,
Buffalo,
Akers. Huh? Yeah, I'm just thinking like he's going to see the field more than Etienne. He's going to see the field probably more than Cam Akers. I have no idea what's going on with the Rams. No idea. Like, I would rather just know that the guy's going to be in the field so there's a chance that you get some points.
It's rough. So I'm going to have to go with Mac on his rankings. I believe it was Dameon Pierce, Travis Etienne, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins. The J.K. Dobbins extra injury to his chest supposedly kind of throws me off. They're also playing Buffalo. But let's move it to the wide receivers, guys. I want you to rank these
Philly's
4 now.
Defense, guys, just so they're just as good as Buffalo's defense.
And that's why I actually have James Robinson as a bench this week. Ooh. Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
Travis Etienne, I think, is going to have a very good game or better than what he's done. But let's move it to the wide receiver ranks. I want you guys to do these 4 real quick, and then I'll let you guys dilly-dally in what you want.
We are doing some special service for you tonight.
Dude, absolutely.
I do what I want when I want.
We're used to doing it with your mom, but not you. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Keep it in the family, you know. Anyways, Rashad Bateman versus Buffalo, Romeo Doubs versus New England, Russell Gage versus Kansas City, Jerry Jeudy versus the Raiders.
Jerry Jeudy versus the Raiders. I like the matchup. I'm expecting a bounce back game for Denver as a whole against the terrible Raiders. But I think a boom play from Bateman's due against Buffalo with that beat up secondary.
Yeah, good call.
So they're kind of like my 1A and 1B. And then Russell Gage, I would guess would be my 3. Dobbs, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. I think the running backs are just going to be heavily involved. I'm still waiting to see. I'm not just going to take that 1 week. Last week performance.
This is a little hard. It's a little stiff.
Hey,
see.
Guys, this is what these guys are doing. This is what the takers are dealing with. I have a couple of these guys in my leagues, both of these in different combinations, but I think they need to know. So Ryan, what do you got, buddy?
I'm going Judy, Gage, Bateman, Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gage is still limited competition there. It's really just going to be Mike Evans this week. He's not going to do what he did last week. He's not catching the ball 12 times, but
no, that's
probably
his
still
best.
Gets you into double digits.
Yeah, best game he had. He's going to have all year, I think, if Mike Evans is on the field with him. Yeah, Dobbs 8 for 8 with 73 yards and a touchdown. I don't see that performance repeating. If it does, okay, we got a trend. Now I'm willing to flex him. So yeah, he's definitely last in my ranking. I'm still waiting to see approach with him.
Absolutely. I think Lazard's in for a big week, to be honest with you, man. He's getting used more and more, seeing the field more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I always get nervous with New England. And unless they have a big play, it's either like, 5 catches and doing pretty good, but no touchdown, or they have like 1 touchdown and a big play. There's never a complete player versus New England. Just like nobody gets a boom game unless you're Tyreek Hill, an asshole. Hate that guy. But yeah, I have to agree with Matt. It's a tough one. This is Jerry Jeudy. Absolutely, I'm expecting a big game, and then the Russell Gage, Rashad Bateman one is very tough. But I guess I'll go Russell Gage just because of the actual workload that he's actually seeing compared to Bateman. Really got shut down last week, hence why we're low on Romeo Dobbs. So Dobbs is definitely last. Do not freak out. I know we told you to pick him up, and you should have, and I'm glad you did, but just don't play him this week, I don't think.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I can avoid it. Yeah, if I can avoid it, I will. What about Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore here? We got Zach Wilson coming back. They're playing Pittsburgh. Garrett Wilson, he had that huge game of 26 points, but then he just had 9. So are we trusting Zach Wilson to still feed him the ball? Or are we looking to pivot to, I don't know, Noah Brown on Dallas versus Washington, or Mac Hollins coming off a huge game versus Denver? Are we buying into that? Or Greg Dortch, wide receiver 19 on the season right now, 15.5 points per game. That's a steady flex, man. That's got some flex appeal. I think I'm putting him in my lineup, and I want to see what Zach Wilson does, if he's going to be the disappointment that he has been.
Yeah, I definitely love Elijah Moore over Garrett Wilson. So if I had to pick between those two, obviously I'm playing Elijah Moore. But if I had to play another one, I do like your concept about Greg Dortch. I think you're getting something that's, consistent.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait and see on the Jets. I want to wait and see what happens there. I do think Garrett Wilson's going to continue to be productive in fantasy, but this week, I mean, Dortch has been putting up numbers consistently. Nothing's really changed there. So yeah, Dortch for me. And Noah Brown, I'm all right with that too. Dude's getting 4 or 5 receptions every game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Michael Gallup plays.
Or Rondale Moore.
If either of those guys play, I'm not confident playing Brown or Dortch, to be honest with you.
Good call.
So you would go Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore over them then?
I'd go Garrett Wilson at that point. Yes, for sure. But if Gallup's not playing, Noah Brown has 5 catches in each of the 3 games this season.
All right.
In double digits. So
yeah. All right, let's move over to Seattle here. They got the Lions this week. Tyler Lockett, sneaky. Kind of sneaky, guys. In the last 2 games each, he's had 9 receptions, 107 yards, and 76 yards. DK Metcalf, 11 points per game. I'm okay flexing these guys, especially against Detroit. One of them is going to be shut down, though. I just don't know which one. Probably DK.
Yeah.
I think maybe go Lockett.
DK is very touchdown dependent. He really hasn't done much. That 11 points per game is really skewed from his last game where he had 17, I believe. And that's because he had a touchdown. And I don't think that's a very common thing from, the whole quarterback situation. So I'll fade Lockett and get the receptions. You're getting 9 points right there automatically. I'm absolutely fine with that in a PPR league.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we were seeing at the end of last year, too. Tyler Lockett was more the guy for Geno. He was putting up more points. So, yeah, I think you got to play both of these guys against Detroit for sure.
All right. Yeah, I like
Hopefully
it.
You don't have them on the same team.
Right.
That'd be aggressive. Please trade one if you do.
I feel like I'm not choosing between them because I would never have drafted both of them on the same team.
No, you wouldn't. All right. Brandon Ayuk, guys, targeted 8 times in the last 2 games, each of those, but they're not always connecting. Only a few receptions from Jimmy G. And I think it's big play potential, guys, and I don't want to miss out. I think if I have 2 flexes, I'm putting them in. But if it's down to 1 flex, I think I'd rather go with a floor play in a Dameon Pierce, Breece Hall type of play.
Yeah.
Or Alan Lazard or Juju. Agreed?
I think I'm with you there. I think I'm with you there. I honestly don't know if I'm playing Ayuk. I hear your point. I get what you're saying, but playing the Rams, Garoppolo looked real bad last week. You gotta see it.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Guys, would you play Allen Robinson or Brandon Ayuk?
No.
Playing each other.
We hyped up Allen Robinson way too much last week. I really didn't even want to speak his name.
You guys
today.
did.
That being said, though, you're talking about a guy that's not connecting with his quarterback. You're also talking about another guy that's not connecting with his quarterback. It's kind of a toss-up. If I have to, I would love to fade both of them. If I had to pick one, though, I'm definitely going to go with Allen Robinson over Brandon Ayuk this week.
I will bet you that Brandon Ayuk does better than Allen Robinson.
Deal.
Ooh.
All right. Here we go.
On the board.
Go streaking.
We need some sort of betting drop there.
Skinny dip?
Ooh, I'll make one. Nice.
Let's see.
Don't pretend like you weren't hyping up Allen Robinson.
Yeah. And I was also high at Dameon Pierce, and you guys are like, I talking about it.
No,
Yes,
Mac, don't pretend like you were high on Allen Robinson. Go back and listen to that episode. You had talked about playing Allen Robinson because he's going to be the consistent.
I said he's the best wide receiver in the league.
I never said that. Get out of here. I didn't draft him anywhere, but I was like, I did not. I never drafted Allen Robinson.
The words Allen Robinson and consistency came out of your mouth last week.
No. Okay, I will have to go back and listen. I don't think so.
Thank you, Ryan. That's the worst.
I am. All right. One more here, guys. DJ Moore, what are we doing with him? Less than 8 points per game. You watch the games, though. He is open. So is it Baker Mayfield just screwing up? Mm-hmm. Is it he got the touchdown for Miami? Totally missed it. Or is it the coaching?
I mean, I don't know what that answer is, to be honest with you. It's probably a little bit of both. That coaching staff is garbage, and so isn't Baker Mayfield. But this rolls into my start in the next segment because I know DJ Moore isn't a must start anymore, but I think this week he's due for a big game against Arizona. That secondary is not good. That team is letting up a lot of points per game. And if you want to see if he can rebound, if you really want to see if the true test, DJ Moore.
I like it, Ryan. I couldn't agree.
We were listening. We were watching that sweet play
you
from
guys,
Miami right there.
I was doing
right
both.
now. Come on.
No, Ryan.
Sorry.
Great.
Right.
Your speaking was so good. It was so clear.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it.
Everyone's going to understand it except for us. No, I agree. DJ Moore.
We'll have to go back and listen, apparently.
Honestly, this is if you think he is good, like Ryan said, go trade for him now if you think he's good. Because after he has this week, his stock's gonna go up. And then the week after that, it's gonna go back down after he plays somebody different. It's gonna be rough. So take advantage now.
I changed my mind. I'm trading him away after this week. Once he has a good week. Bye, DJ Moore.
See? Yeah, that's also a good call.
All right, guys, let's give the taker. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to do one more. Quarterbacks, guys. Do we trust Tom Brady coming back and being start worthy against Kansas
With Mike
City?
Evans? Yes. With Mike Evans, yes.
He has to have Mike Evans.
Has to.
I think he's going to have like 18 to 20 points if you're fine with that.
That's a good call, Ryan. I was thinking
So-
like 16, 17.
So
Yeah.
barely breaking top 12
Quarterback
QB.
12.
I was going to say top 15.
That's not good.
No, but if you drafted him, you probably got to play.
All right, so Kirk Cousins against New Orleans or Tom Brady?
Oof. I'm not taking Kirk Cousins across the pond.
Matt
Or
Stafford.
Tom Brady.
Matt
Or
Stafford.
Sam Fran. Crap.
I'm going Stafford just because he has his weapons, like that's
That's
why
a
I'm
good
going
point.
Stafford.
Okay. But
Still gonna go
realistically,
Tommy boy.
you probably don't have them both on the same squad, but Ryan Tannehill coming off a big game of 19 points. Woohoo.
I'm never playing Tannehill.
They have
I
the Colts this week.
I think Brady's floor is too close to Tannehill's ceiling.
I
So
got
I'm
you.
probably not going to do that.
That's a great comment.
Sounds good.
So for tight ends, would you guys play Njoku? Are you expecting a repeat? Obviously not 23 points, but
I think they want to get him involved in the offense. So if you picked him up, yeah, you're playing him. Hopefully you dropped Cole
because I
Kmet.
picked him up.
You're playing him. Yeah.
Yeah, Cole Kmet is not on any more of my teams.
Yeah. If Keenan Allen doesn't play, I'm still playing Jared Everett. Still streaming him. Pat Freiermuth, I still will.
Remember how we talked about like whether or not we were going to play Kittle last week because he was coming back, and then he didn't have a good week. I'm just trying to figure out where he finished as a tight end. All right, tight end 18. So he was down the list a little bit, but I'm like a very bad week for George Kittle, which was like 6 fantasy points, is still good enough to be tight end 18.
Tight ends are terrible. Tyler Conklin, number 3 tight end on the year for the Jets. If you picked him up, I'd say you're streaming him because he probably picked him up because he had no better option. So still throw him out there. Second in targets on the team. But that it was with Joe Flacco as well. But
the Jets. I hate them.
Yep. All right. Let's get into our extra tips, our solid hard tips here.
Come, let us gingerly touch our tips.
I'm a soft. I'm just kidding.
All right. Start, sit, Regan. Give me your start, your hard tip start right here.
So this is our unique Mac.
I don't know.
Hard tip. Take
Whatever.
it easy, biscuit. I know it's on your mind, you weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so my unique start this week is Jerry Jeudy. And Mac actually, you said this. I was about to give you a compliment.
I'm only kidding. Go.
Anyways, Denver is playing the Raiders. I think this is going to be a shootout game. I think Jerry Jeudy's going to get his targets. I know it's been rough. Denver has just been gross. Both of these teams have just been the opposite of what we expected. Let's put it that way. And I'm expecting Jerry Jeudy to kind of do a little bit of what we expected this week. I think that's easy to predict.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. He was off a little bit with Russell Wilson last week. You look at the box score, which you'll hear a lot of fantasy analysts they don't check out highlights. You can't watch every game, but you got to watch some things and see some breakdown film on them. He just missed a touchdown, so he could have had a bigger night. And I hate myself for this. Russell Wilson, I'm starting him. I'm not pivoting to Jared Goff or.
What about Kirk Cousins? For a friend,
I'm gonna go Russell Wilson, man. He has stupid videos. It's a spicy take. It's dangerous, whatever. I joked around and tweeted that you could cut him after that Subway commercial video. Oh my God. But he's only scoring 13 points per game, but now he is facing the Raiders. He's the QB. They are the QB cure. Getting out of that funk. Last ranked defense. Herbert, 29 points. Kyler Murray, 29 points. Ryan Tannehill, 22 points. Excuse me, Tannehill. I shaved off a couple points. So Russell Wilson, low end QB1 this week. I think he might just barely get into the top 10. If he doesn't do it this week, you can drop him and stream all year. Take shots. Like if there's better options out there to stream, just do that.
Just picked up Mariota to play over him.
Yeah.
Maybe not this week though. After listening to you, that was pretty appealing.
Yeah, against the Raiders, I think I'm going Wilson, but it's close. How about you, Ryan?
I hate Russell Wilson.
I can't believe I bought into all the hype for him.
But I hear what you're saying. I like your points. Hard to argue. The only league I have Russell Wilson in, I have Jacoby Brissett as my backup. So I'm going to stick with Russ.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
And that probably, well, I don't know. Brissett had a nice week.
Jacoby's been making it close, man. I really want to play him. That's what's happening right now.
All right, same game. Derek Carr against Denver or Russell Wilson. Derek Carr is currently QB 12.
I think I'd probably have to go Carr though, just because I know like he's probably going to put up 18 points, 19 points. He's probably going to do something. He's got Devontae Adams. He has too good of weapons.
Jameis Winston across the pond. If he's healthy to go. We started Jameis Winston over him.
Versus Minnesota. Their defense is absolutely horrible, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's not great.
So
not great, Bob.
Jameis.
Yeah.
All right. Cooper Rush for Dallas, the undefeated Cooper. All right, I'm just kidding.
Let's go.
All right. Give me a start, Ryan.
He is undefeated. Cooper Rush must start for the week.
Mm-hmm.
No, I already said mine. DJ Moore, I'm not giving up on him. Not quite yet. Let's play him this week, see what happens. After this week, if he doesn't go off this week, then don't play him anymore, ever.
This is what I meant for that.
Thank you.
Perfect. And then my other guy, real quick, was just Josh Reynolds. It's contingent on who's going to play for the Lions. But if you're getting news late, Amon-Ra's out, Chark's out. If they're both out, you're definitely picking up Josh Reynolds and putting him in your flex.
Yeah, Detroit's sneaky fun to watch. It's like the good fantasy points over there.
Yep.
Like one of the top offenses in football.
Who would have thought?
Top 3 in scoring points, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Good for them. Good for Detroit. All right, Regan, give me some of your down on your tips. Just limp. What are we doing here?
Oh, no one's gonna like this one. And this is, and it hurts too because I love this guy as a player, and it's James Robinson. He's going against Jalen Hurts. He's going against Jalen Hurts, and the NFC powerhouse and the Eagles. I don't think it's going to be a great game for the Jags. I know they've looked great. The Eagles are just on another level. They really are. It's pretty impressive, and I think James Robinson just isn't going to get the work. I believe he only has 3 catches last week. He's not as much as part of the pass game as you want him to be. I think it's going to be a Travis Etienne game. And I think he has a little bit of upside. I'm not predicting anything crazy for Travis Etienne, but I'm expecting him to do a little bit better than James Robinson, unless James Robinson just is able to get that goal line work. And he's going to have nothing with it. So I just don't think it's going to be a good game. Don't expect these 20, 23-point games from James Robinson you've been getting, surprisingly, for the past 3 weeks, which is an amazing story. I just don't think it's going to happen versus these Eagles, and they're very surprising, very good defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think if you took out the names and you just said, if you just said touchdown dependent, not using the passing game, it would be identical to what we were talking about last year with James Conner. Be like one and the same. You wouldn't know who we're talking about: James Robinson in 22 or James Conner in 21.
Nice.
It's nice, man. I think I have to start him, but yeah, look to pivot if you can. I don't mind that. My guy, I'm looking to pivot. Jeff Wilson, running back for San Francisco, going against the Rams. Hopefully you have somebody like Josh Jacobs. I mean, you picked him off the waivers. So hopefully you have a different option. I think I'm going with either Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson over him.
Agreed.
Against Green Bay.
Play them.
So just guys who win against the Rams this season. Buffalo, mostly pass, but Moss and Singletary each had under 8 points. Patterson, we were talking highly of him, but he had less than 5 points against the Rams. I don't like it. James Conner, 8 points against the Rams. He's going to have to break off a big play to get over 10 points, so I'm not liking it. I'm expecting a big Debo game with some trick plays and stuff. So Jeff Wilson on man out on that offense, so I'm looking elsewhere.
I love it.
You just reminded me of one of my calls last week, which was unrelated to the running back position, but Jahan Dotson, 2 catches for 10 yards. I was like, stop teasing me, Jahan. Stop teasing me. I'm not playing you. I'm not playing you. Good thing I didn't, because I know there were a lot of people that did. And yeah. So
I want to have faith that they would target him in the end zone, but I went with my advice and saying the revenge games don't work out, and that what's his name? The ginger.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz was not going to have a good game, so I benched him. Didn't want a part of that.
And like we've been saying, Mac, Terry McLaurin's getting the targets now.
Mm-hmm.
He's that was going to happen. But my sit this week, definitely. My sit is going to be Zay Jones. Obviously, he's had a great connection with Trevor Lawrence. I love him. I picked him up. I used a good amount of fab on him. But at the same time, like, Philly's a really tough defense. And I think there are going to be situations where you have to play him, and that's okay. He could have a good game. I'm just a little worried. So if I can pivot to a guy like Isaiah McKenzie, who has a really good matchup, who now without possibly Gabe Davis could slide into that number 2 role on this Bills offense, I'm going with a guy like Isaiah McKenzie instead.
Yeah, just to add to your point too, obviously I said in the injury report that Zay Jones has an ankle injury, was limited in practice, and I think this game's going to be somewhat one-sided, I believe, with the Eagles. The Eagles tend to just go all out. They average 24 points in the first half, and then they just don't score again in the second half. But if Zay Jones is injured, I could see him just getting benched the second half for another week.
It's possible. He might not be involved in that garbage time if that's a possibility.
Right,
I mean, the place that I could see him getting his points is that they did a few like wide receiver screens to him last week. He was able to find some openings, get some yardage that way. So I think he can gather up enough points, but it's a risky play.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Thank you for that. Takers out there, if you have any questions that we did not elaborate enough on, let us know. We talk to each other. Get our opinions, and then we get back to you. Text, slide in our DMs. I know. I'm getting sick of talking every day. All right. But follow us, Just a Tip FFP, to keep up to date on news. We will share stuff. We will give you our tips on the day, on the Sunday before kickoff. All right, guys. Matchups: Minnesota and New Orleans over in London. I'm going Minnesota.
E-I-O-U. Sometimes why. This is a tough one because I just don't like Kirk Cousins in like those prime time games. It's gross.
It's the morning though. He's fine. It's only at night.
It's prime time.
It's at night.
It's the only game on. It's prime. Actually, is it on Amazon Prime?
Make a decision. No.
I'm going Minnesota. Paul Regan takes all day. Maybe we could skip and come back to him.
All right. Well, it's like pass. Cleveland at Atlanta. Got to go Atlanta. Cleveland.
I got Atlanta.
I went Cleveland. I picked Atlanta initially, switched it to Cleveland.
If Cordell Patterson doesn't play with all these whatever days, then absolutely Cleveland.
Buffalo at Baltimore. This one. Nice. I'm going Baltimore.
Buffalo.
Buff chick.
Buff chick. All right. You guys keep picking Buffalo. They lost last week. Washington at Dallas. I got to go with Dallas. I'm riding with Cooper Rush, man.
Dallas, baby. He's undefeated, man.
It's been nice to watch.
Let's
I'll
go.
be different. I'll go Washington.
All right. You're going to lose. Seattle at Detroit. Detroit's favored by 4.
Detroit.
Yeah, easy Detroit.
Holy cow.
Well, if they don't have any receivers, you might want
That's
to
the thing.
Right now, I'm going Detroit.
If Amon-Ra's out, I'm going Seattle. Chargers at Houston. Chargers. Bounce back game. Come on.
Yep.
Tennessee at Indianapolis. This one. I'm going Derrick Henry. Gonna run all over Indy.
I got Indy.
Tennessee.
All right. Tennessee for me. Chicago at Giants. Low scoring, over under 39. I picked up the Giants defense everywhere. We probably should focus on some defensive starts. I just want a low scoring game on defense. That's what I'm focused on. That's my strategy this year.
You'll get it.
That's what I'm hoping for. A couple sacks. Giants. Jacksonville at Philly. Philly. Jets at Pittsburgh.
It's a tough one.
Jets, baby. Jets.
Was Zach Wilson coming back and slinging it everywhere? Pittsburgh.
I got Steelers.
Arizona at Carolina.
Arizona.
Yeah. They got to, right?
They have to.
No, when they travel to East Coast, they don't. Carolina. New England at Green Bay. Green Bay. Come on.
Green Bay.
9.5-point favorite. Denver at Vegas. I'm going Denver. I'm thinking Vegas are going to go 0-4, man.
I went Denver as well.
All right. Kansas City at Tampa Bay. This one, over under 46 with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. I'm taking the over.
It's gross.
I think this is going to be a wild game. Sunday night game. Straight up pick them. I'm going, I got to go. Bucks.
I went Chiefs, and for the reason of it, like if you're in a pool and you're looking at a game like this where it's like 72 to 28%, just pick the favorite and be with the majority.
Makes sense. Monday night, Rams at San Fran. I think I gotta go Rams. Yeah,
Rams. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much for investing your time to help these takers out there, helping me make my start-sit decisions. I take your guys' advice. Like Jahan Dotson, I pivoted because of Ryan. Thank you very much. Yes. You guys got anything for the leftovers?
No, thank you, boys, for Damian Pierce. Thank you for Russell Gage last week. Put him in a few lineups.
I played him as well.
Smart. You're smart.
Taking your tips. I took him. I liked it. Liked it a lot.
Took him all Sunday.
Never mind.
Oh, wow.
His lineups.
I got 2 leftovers, actually. First, Ryan, Aaron Judge with his home runs.
61.
Who cares? Barry Bonds is the record holder, right? Or does that not count in your eyes?
I don't really give a shit. But I think Barry Bonds did it, so he's good. Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know why people keep on putting a caveat on it. Get out of here. More steroids. That's what I always say. Regan, did you see the teaser with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman for Deadpool 3?
Oh,
can't wait.
It was amazing. It was so exciting.
I know. Got me excited. Like your mom gets me excited.
Hugh Jackson gets me excited.
So does Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. What a duo.
I'm still recording, right?
Come on, funny feeling.